They called it Earth's Defense Fleet, the morning that changed everything. Captain Elena Vasquez was reviewing supply reports when the alarms began screaming across Luna Station. The orbital facility had been quiet for months, monitoring deep space communications and tracking asteroid movements. Nothing exciting ever happened at humanity's outermost defense post. That changed in an instant. "Captain, we have multiple contacts approaching from the outer system," Sergeant David Kim called from his sensor station. His voice carried an edge Elena had never heard before. 12 vessels, unknown configuration, heading directly for Earth. Elena set down her coffee and moved to the main display. What she saw made her stomach drop. The ships were massive, each one easily 3 times the size of Earth's largest vessels. Their design was alien, featuring smooth curves and energy patterns that pulsed like living things. These weren't human ships. "How long until they reach Earth's orbit?" Elena asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "At their current speed, approximately 18 hours, Kim replied. "Captain, they're not responding to our hail attempts." Elena had trained for this moment her entire career, but she never truly believed it would happen. First contact with an alien species. The protocols were clear, but seeing those massive ships on her screen made everything feel surreal. "Send an emergency signal to Earth Command," she ordered. "Priority Alpha. Tell them we have visitors." Earth Command responds. Colonel Marcus Chen received the alert while attending a routine staff meeting at Earth Defense Headquarters in Geneva. The building erupted into controlled chaos as officers ran to their stations and communication screens flickered to life across the command center. "Colonel, we're getting confirmation from 3 separate monitoring stations," reported Lieutenant Sarah Park. 12 alien vessels, each approximately 2 kilometers in length, approaching Earth. Luna Station estimates arrival in 17 hours. Marcus studied the tactical display. The alien ships moved in a perfect formation, maintaining precise distances from each other. Their approach vector would bring them directly into Earth's orbital space. This wasn't a casual visit. "What's our defensive status?" Marcus asked. 8 ships of the Home Defense Fleet are currently operational, replied Captain James Rodriguez. "The ships are positioned around Earth and Mars. We also have the orbital defense platforms, but compared to those alien vessels..." Marcus nodded grimly. Earth's Home Defense Fleet consisted of humanity's most advanced warships, but they were designed to handle human threats. Pirates, rogue colonies, and corporate conflicts. Nobody had planned for alien invasion. "Get me Admiral Thompson on secure channel," Marcus ordered, "and start bringing our ships into defensive positions around Earth." Dr. Rebecca Torres, Earth's leading xenobiologist, had been called in as soon as the aliens were detected. She studied the limited sensor data they had gathered, trying to understand what humanity was facing. "Colonel, based on their ship design and approach pattern, these beings are highly advanced," she reported. "Their technology appears to be at least 50 years ahead of ours in propulsion and energy systems." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. "What are our chances if this turns hostile?" Dr. Torres hesitated. "With conventional tactics, very poor, but humans have always been adaptable. We might surprise them." The Krillian Ultimatum. 18 hours later, the alien fleet took position around Earth's moon. The ships maintained their formation, weapons powered but not targeting anything specific. The message came through on all frequencies simultaneously. The main screen in Earth Command flickered, and an alien face appeared. The being had pale blue skin, large black eyes, and a series of ridges along its forehead. When it spoke, translation software converted its words into dozens of human languages. "I am Ambassador Thex of the Krillian Dominion," the alien announced. "Your species has reached sufficient technological development to warrant our attention. You will submit to Krillian rule immediately. Your planet will become a resource extraction site. Your people will serve as laborers in our industrial complexes." Colonel Marcus Chen stepped forward, knowing that his response would determine humanity's fate. "This is Colonel Marcus Chen of Earth Defense Command. We appreciate your contact, but Earth is not interested in joining your dominion. We suggest you withdraw your fleet peacefully." Ambassador Thex's expression didn't change, but his eyes seemed to grow colder. "You misunderstand. This is not a negotiation. We have conquered 47 worlds across this sector of the galaxy. Your resistance is futile. You have one solar rotation to consider your surrender." The transmission ended, leaving Earth Command in tense silence. "Colonel," Lieutenant Park said quietly, "long-range sensors are detecting weapon signatures from their ships. They're powering up some kind of energy cannons." Marcus looked around the command center at the faces of his officers. Fear was there, but also determination. Humanity had faced extinction before and survived through ingenuity and refusal to surrender. "Send the signal to our fleet," Marcus ordered. "All ships to defensive positions. And Lieutenant, activate the Prometheus Protocol." Several officers looked confused. The Prometheus Protocol was classified beyond most security levels. "Sir, are you sure?" Captain Rodriguez asked. "Once we activate Prometheus, there's no going back to hiding our capabilities." "They want to see what humans can do when threatened," Marcus replied. "Let's show them." The Battle of Luna Space. The next day, Ambassador Thex transmitted again. "Your time has expired. Surrender now or face destruction." "Our answer remains the same," Marcus replied. "Earth declines your generous offer." Thex signaled off-screen, and a Krillian fleet began moving toward Earth. 50 massive warships, their weapons charging with energy that made space itself shimmer. Earth's 8 defense ships moved to intercept. They looked like toys compared to the alien vessels, but appearances could be deceiving. Captain Elena Vasquez commanded the EDS Horizon, one of Earth's newest ships. Her crew of 35 humans was about to face their first real combat situation. "All ships, this is Colonel Chen," came the transmission. "Prometheus is active. You know what to do." Elena smiled grimly. Her ship and the 7 others weren't just Earth's home defense fleet. They were prototypes, testing platforms for technology that most humans didn't know existed. "Activate adaptive systems," Elena ordered. "Full stealth mode, and bring the quantum disruptors online." The Horizon vanished from Krillian sensors as its stealth field engaged. Similar technology activated across the human fleet. To the aliens, 8 ships had suddenly become invisible. "What is this?" Ambassador Thex demanded from his flagship. "Where did they go?" The first human attack came from 3 directions simultaneously. The EDS Horizon appeared directly above a Krillian ship, fired a burst of quantum energy that passed through the alien shields like they weren't there, and disappeared again before return fire could target it. The alien ship's engines died instantly. Its weapons powered down. Its life support flickered. "Impossible," Thex screamed. "Our shields should stop any primitive weapon." Captain Rodriguez in the EDS Guardian was having similar success. His ship phased in and out of normal space, striking alien vessels and vanishing before they could respond. The human quantum disruptors didn't destroy the Krillian ships. Instead, they disabled every system, leaving the crews alive but helpless. Within 30 minutes, 12 Krillian ships had been completely disabled. The remaining 38 were trying to retreat, but human ships kept appearing around them, systematically shutting down vessel after vessel. "This is impossible," Ambassador Thex transmitted desperately. "Your technology should not be capable of this." Colonel Marcus Chen appeared on screen, his expression calm. "Ambassador, you made some incorrect assumptions about humanity. We suggest you withdraw your remaining ships and inform your superiors that Earth is not available for conquest. The Dominion will send a full battle fleet," Thex threatened. "Hundreds of ships will come to avenge this humiliation." "We'll be waiting," Marcus replied simply. The remaining Krillian ships fled toward deep space, leaving their disabled comrades behind. Earth's 8 ships had defeated 50 alien warships without taking a single casualty. The deception continues. In the hours following the battle, Earth Command worked frantically to maintain their deception. The 8 ships that had won the battle were actually using technology decades ahead of what the Krillians possessed, but Marcus needed the aliens to believe they had fought Earth's primary fleet. "Dr. Torres, what's your analysis of their retreat?" Marcus asked. "They're confused and frightened," she replied after studying intercepted Krillian communications. "Their intelligence about human capabilities was completely wrong. They think those 8 ships represent our main defensive force." Marcus nodded. This was exactly what he had hoped. What about their threat to send more ships? "Very likely. Their culture appears to be built around dominance and conquest. Being defeated by a supposedly primitive species will be seen as a major threat to their empire." Captain Elena Vasquez had returned to Luna Station for debriefing. Her ship had performed flawlessly during the battle, but she knew the real test was yet to come. "Captain, how do you think the Krillians will respond?" asked Sergeant Kim. Elena looked out at the stars through the station's observation deck. Somewhere out there, alien commanders were planning their revenge. They'll send everything they have. And when they do, they'll discover that what they fought today wasn't our real military. "What do you mean?" Helena smiled mysteriously. "Those 8 ships, they're just our local defense force. Our actual fleet is something else entirely." Deep in classified bunkers around Earth, Admiral Sarah Cross was already preparing for the next phase. The Krillians had seen Earth's defensive capabilities. Soon they would learn about humanity's true military power. The first battle was over, but the real war was just beginning. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing technology and strategies that would surprise any alien empire. The Krillians thought they had faced Earth's army. They had no idea what was coming. The real fleet emerges. The Empire strikes back. 3 months after their humiliating defeat, the Krillian Dominion returned to Earth with a force that darkened the sky. Supreme War Leader Kelvek commanded 500 warships, the largest battle fleet the Dominion had ever assembled. Each ship was armed with weapons capable of destroying cities, and their combined firepower could crack a planet's surface. Captain Elena Vasquez watched the massive fleet approach from her position at Luna Station. The sensor displays showed an armada that stretched across millions of kilometers of space. This wasn't the exploratory force they had faced before. This was total war. "Elena, what's the count now?" asked Sergeant Kim, his voice tight with worry. 512 ships, she replied, trying to keep the fear out of her voice. "Each one is larger than what we faced last time. They're not taking any chances." On the Krillian flagship, Supreme War Leader Kelvek studied tactical displays showing Earth's defenses. His intelligence officers had analyzed every detail of the previous battle, trying to understand how a primitive species had defeated their forces. "War Leader, our scouts confirmed that Earth maintains the same 8-ship defensive fleet," reported Commander Vex. "They appear to have made no significant changes to their military posture." Kelvek's 4 eyes narrowed with satisfaction. "Excellent." The humans became overconfident after their lucky victory. They believe their primitive stealth technology and energy weapons make them invincible. Today they learn the price of humiliating the Dominion. What the Krillians didn't know was that their scouts had only been allowed to see what Earth wanted them to see. For 3 months, humanity had carefully maintained the illusion that those 8 ships represented their entire military capability. Deep Space Command awakens. Admiral Sarah Cross stood in the command center of Deep Space Station Omega, a facility that didn't officially exist. Hidden in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the station had been operational for 15 years without any government acknowledging its presence. "Admiral, all fleet commanders are standing by," reported Captain Michael Jong. "The Prometheus ships are ready for deployment." Sarah looked at the tactical display, showing the approaching Krillian fleet. 500 ships represented a significant threat, but humanity had been preparing for this day since first achieving interstellar travel. "Signal all commanders," Sarah ordered. "Operation Rising Phoenix is now active." Earth Command will engage the enemy fleet with standard forces. Once the Krillians commit fully to battle, we reveal our true strength. Across the solar system, hidden bases began coming online. Asteroid mining stations revealed themselves to be disguised military installations. Seemingly abandoned research facilities powered up massive weapons systems. Ships that had been hiding in the shadows of moons and planets began emerging from concealment. Commander Lisa Park commanded the stealth carrier DSS Invisible, hidden behind Europa. Her ship carried 90 advanced fighters, each one equipped with technology that made the Prometheus ships look primitive. "All pilots, this is Commander Park," she announced to her squadrons. "Today we show the galaxy what human ingenuity can accomplish when we stop holding back." The battle begins. Colonel Marcus Chen watched the Krillian fleet approach Earth from his position in the rebuilt Geneva Command Center. The facility had been secretly upgraded with technology that could coordinate thousands of ships simultaneously, though the Krillians believed Earth's entire command structure consisted of a few primitive installations. "Colonel, the enemy fleet is taking attack formation," reported Lieutenant Sarah Park. "They're positioning their heavy ships for planetary bombardment." Marcus nodded grimly. The Krillians plan to destroy Earth's cities from orbit, then land occupation forces. It was a strategy they had used successfully on dozens of worlds. "Launch our defensive fleet," Marcus ordered. 8 ships against 500. Let's see what the aliens think of those odds. Captain Elena Vasquez led the same 8 ships that had won the previous battle. The EDS Horizon and her sister ships moved to intercept the massive alien fleet, looking hopeless outnumbered. Supreme War Leader Kelvak watched the human ships approach and felt satisfaction mixed with contempt. 8 ships against 500. These humans have courage, but courage without wisdom leads to extinction. "War Leader, should we offer them a chance to surrender?" asked Commander Vex. "No, they had their chance. Today we demonstrate what happens to species that defy the Dominion." The battle began exactly as it had 3 months earlier. Earth's 8 ships activated their stealth systems and quantum disruptors, appearing and disappearing around the alien fleet while systematically disabling Krillian vessels. But this time, the Krillians were ready. "Activate the sensor nets," Kelvak commanded. "Wide spectrum scanning, all frequencies. Track their stealth signatures." Advanced Krillian sensors began penetrating human stealth fields. For the first time, the aliens could see and target Earth's ships during their hit-and-run attacks. "Target acquired," reported a Krillian weapons officer, firing plasma cannons. The EDS Guardian took a direct hit to its port shields. Captain Rodriguez fought to maintain control as his ship shook from the impact. "Guardian is damaged but operational," he reported. "Their sensors have adapted to our stealth technology." Colonel Marcus Chen had been expecting this. The Krillians were intelligent and capable of learning from defeat. The human ships continued fighting, but they were taking damage and losing their tactical advantage. "All ships, begin withdrawal," Marcus ordered. "Fall back to defensive positions around Earth." Supreme War Leader Kelvak watched the human ships retreat and felt triumph surge through him. Finally, the humans realized they cannot win. "All ships, pursue and destroy." The Krillian fleet accelerated toward Earth, chasing the 8 human ships toward the planet. 500 alien warships entered Earth's orbital space, with weapons charged and shields at maximum power. That was exactly what Admiral Sarah Cross had been waiting for. The real fleet reveals itself. "All stations, this is Admiral Cross." Her voice transmitted across hidden facilities throughout the solar system. "The enemy has committed their full force. Execute Rising Phoenix. Show them Earth's true power." What happened next would be remembered across the galaxy for generations. From behind Earth's moon emerged the DSS Leviathan, humanity's first true battleship. The vessel was 5 kilometers long, armed with weapons that drew power directly from controlled fusion reactions. Its appearance alone dwarfed the largest Krillian ships. From the asteroid belt came the Prometheus fleet, not 8 ships, but 800. Each vessel incorporated technology decades ahead of what the Krillians had faced. Quantum shields that could deflect any known weapon. Adaptive AI systems that learned from every enemy attack. Weapons that could target specific molecular structures. The space around Jupiter lit up as Deep Space Command revealed itself. Admiral Cross's hidden headquarters was accompanied by manufacturing stations that had been secretly building warships for over a decade. From Mars orbit came the stealth carriers, each one launching squadrons of fighters that moved through space like angry swarms of mechanical insects. Commander Lisa Park's ship alone deployed 90 advanced fighters, but she was just one of 12 carrier commanders. Over 1,000 human fighters suddenly filled the space around Earth. Impossible, Supreme War Leader Kelvak whispered as his sensors tried to count the human ships appearing around his fleet. Where did they come from? The answer was everywhere. Hidden bases throughout the solar system revealed themselves. Ships emerged from stealth fields that had concealed them for months. Orbital platforms disguised as space debris powered up weapons systems that made Krillian technology look primitive. War Leader, I'm counting over 2,000 human vessels, Commander Vex reported, his voice shaking. And more are still appearing. The tide turns. Admiral Sarah Cross addressed the Krillian fleet from her flagship, the DS Absolute. Her image appeared on every alien ship simultaneously. Supreme War Leader Kelvak, this is Admiral Sarah Cross of Earth's Deep Space Command. You came here expecting to fight our local defense force. Instead, you have encountered humanity's true military capability. Kelvak stared at the human admiral, trying to process what he was seeing. The tactical displays showed his 500 ships completely surrounded by a human fleet that outnumbered them 4-1. This is impossible, he transmitted back. Our intelligence indicated Earth possessed only basic interplanetary capabilities. Sarah smiled coldly. Your intelligence was designed to see exactly what we wanted you to see. Humanity has been preparing for this day since we first detected alien signals. We've been building ships, developing technology, and planning strategies specifically to counter any threat from the galaxy beyond. The first demonstration of humanity's true power came from the DSS Leviathan. The massive battleship fired a single quantum torpedo at a Krillian heavy cruiser. The weapon passed through the alien ship's shields, hull, and structural supports without causing any visible damage. Then the Krillian ship simply stopped existing. Every atom in its structure was converted to energy in a controlled fusion reaction that left nothing but empty space. That was our lowest power setting, Admiral Cross announced calmly. Surrender now, or we will demonstrate what our weapons can do at full power. But the Krillians were warriors of an empire that had never known defeat. Supreme War Leader Kelvak ordered his fleet to attack, hoping to destroy as many human ships as possible before his inevitable destruction. The battle that followed lasted exactly 18 minutes. Human fighters swarmed through the Krillian formation like schools of mechanical fish. Their weapons were precisely calibrated to disable alien ships without destroying them completely. Quantum disruptors shut down power systems. Molecular scramblers neutralized weapons and shields. Artificial intelligence viruses invaded and crashed alien computer networks. The larger human ships demonstrated technology that seemed to violate the laws of physics. The DSS Invisible phased in and out of normal spacetime, appearing inside alien formations to disable multiple ships before vanishing again. The Prometheus vessels adapted their weapons and defenses in real time, countering every Krillian tactic before it could be implemented. Admiral Cross watched from her command center as the last Krillian ship lost power and drifted helplessly in space. 500 ships of the Dominion's greatest fleet had been defeated without the destruction of a single human vessel. Open a channel to the alien flagship, she ordered. Supreme War Leader Kelvak appeared on screen, his expression showing a mixture of defeat and amazement. How? He asked simply. Humanity has a saying. Sarah replied. Never judge a species by its appearance. You assumed we were primitive because we chose to appear primitive. You thought our 8 ships represented our full military because we wanted you to think that. You made the classic mistake of underestimating an opponent you didn't understand. What happens now? Kelvak asked. Now you return to your empire and inform them that Earth is not available for conquest. Any future attacks on human colonies or allies will be met with the full force of our Deep Space Command. We prefer peace, but we are prepared for war. A new galactic order. 3 days later, Captain Elena Vasquez sat in the observation lounge of Luna Station, watching human ships patrol the space around Earth. The small defensive fleet she had commanded was now just a tiny part of humanity's revealed military power. Hard to believe we kept this secret for so long, commented Sergeant Kim. Elena nodded. The hardest part was making those 8 ships look like they were struggling during the battles. We could have ended both fights in minutes if we used our full capabilities. Dr. Rebecca Torres joined them, carrying a tablet filled with intercepted alien communications. The intelligence reports are fascinating. Word is spreading across the galaxy about Earth's hidden fleet. 6 different alien species have sent diplomatic missions requesting trade agreements and defense pacts. Colonel Marcus Chen's image appeared on the lounge's communication screen. Elena, congratulations on a job well done. Both battles played out exactly as Admiral Cross planned. The aliens saw exactly what we wanted them to see. What happens next, Colonel? Elena asked. Now we see how the galaxy reacts to learning that humanity isn't the primitive species they assumed we were. Some will want to be our allies. Others might see us as a threat that needs to be eliminated before we become too powerful. Admiral Sarah Cross added her own perspective from Deep Space Command. Humanity has revealed itself as a major galactic power, but with great power comes great responsibility. We'll need to be careful how we use our strength. The goal was never conquest. It was survival and protection of human interests. The revelation of Earth's true military capability sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. The Krillian Dominion, faced with the prospect of fighting a war they couldn't win, agreed to formal peace negotiations. Other alien empires began reassessing their relationships with the species they had dismissed as technologically inferior. Dr. Torres smiled as she read the latest diplomatic reports. Amazing how first impressions can be so wrong. The galaxy thought humanity was weak because we let them think that. Now they're discovering we've been the strongest military power in this sector all along. Elena looked out at the stars, knowing that human ships were now patrolling space lanes throughout the local stellar region. Do you think we'll have peace now? For a while, Marcus replied. Fear of our military power will keep the aggressive species in line, but eventually someone will test us again. When that happens, we'll be ready. The story of humanity's emergence as a galactic superpower would be told across the galaxy for generations. The species that had appeared primitive and defenseless had revealed themselves as masters of military technology and strategic deception. The empire that had thought it was fighting Earth's army discovered they had battled against local security forces, while the real fleet watched from the shadows. Earth's message to the galaxy was clear. Humanity preferred peace, but those who chose war would face consequences beyond their imagination. The age of underestimating the human species was over.